Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, friend. Request everyone to please keep your phone on silent mode, and also request everyone to please rise for the institute motto followed by national anthem.
Please be in attention mode. ऐसा
Bharat Mata ki.
जय
Please be seated and welcome you again, friend. Friends, today we have gathered for an important and highly relevant session on the topic decoding the 4 new labor code. As we all know, the new labor codes are set to bring significant changes for business, employers, employees, and professionals like us. Understanding their impact and practical implication is crucial, and today's session will help us gain deeply clarity on the subject. We are privileged to have with us two eminent speakers, Advocate Ramesh Soni ji and Advocate Jigar Soni ji, both respected legal experts with vast experience in labor law and compliance matters. Their insights will undoubtedly guide us in interpreting the provision and adopting effectively to the new regulatory framework. इनके लिए इतना ही कहना चाहूंगा दोस्तों कि कानून की गलियों में जो रोशनी बिखेरे, कानून की गलियों में जो रोशनी बिखेरे, वो सोनी साहबों की पहचान है। सोनी साहब नहीं, सोनी साहबों की पहचान है। शब्दों में सादगी, विषय में गहराई, ये उनकी असली शान है। मेहनत की मसाल लिए जब दोनों मंच पर आते हैं, मुश्किल से मुश्किल मुद्दे भी आसान होकर समझ में आते हैं। आज लेबर कोड की गुत्थियां सुलझाने वाले हैं ये दोनों ज्ञानी, राह दिखाने को तैयार है हमारे आदरणीय एडवोकेट रमेश सोनी जी और एडवोकेट जिगर सोनी जी महान हैं। नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट आवर पास्ट कन्वीनर महेश जी बगेरिया to give a brief introduction of our speakers. Bagaria ji, please.
छोड़ते हैं। Very good morning, friends.
Good morning.
The discussion was going on in the advisory committee of JB Nagar, which topic should be kept in this meeting. I said nothing else, only decoding of the code, because that is the hottest topic. कैलाश जी ने बोला ओके,
इतनी कभी यहाँ पे के लिए छोड़ा,
बिल्कुल कर दूंगा। तो डिस्कशन चला, बोले टॉपिक तो ओके, स्पीकर्स, मगर उसमें भी कोई चांस नहीं है। Only Soni, Soni and Soni. We have been known and friends since last 35 years. We have worked together a lot, and his expertise will definitely enlighten and give us all the insight of the new decoding. मैंने उनको और भी रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि ये लेबर कोड में लेबर का नाम आता है, तो वी ऑल सी थिंग्स दिस इज फॉर ओनली लेबर वेजेस, उनके लिए, नॉट फॉर द ऑफिस स्टाफ और समथिंग, बट आई बिलीव ही विल एक्सप्लेन. अकॉर्डिंग टू मी इट इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर एवरी ऑफिसेज इंक्लूडिंग सी ऑफिसेज, इवन इफ यू हैव वन एम्प्लॉय. मैंने और भी रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि शॉप एंड एस्टेब्लिशमेंट एक्ट, बीच में नोटिफिकेशन था कि ये इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल, बट इट इज एप्लीकेबल, सो उसमें भी थोड़ा हाईलाइट करेंगे सर. और जो आपके पास खजाना है वो आप निकाल सकते हैं. तो इनके इंट्रोडक्शन तो कैलाश जी ने ऑलरेडी कर दिया है, लेकिन कुछ इनके हाइलाइट्स मुझे बताना बहुत जरूरी है सब लोगों के लिए. So Advocate R.L. Soni is a highly qualified veteran in the field of labor laws and labor welfare with over 45 years of experience. He holds BSc Honors, LLB, Diploma in Labor Laws from Mumbai University. He further pursued an MBA in Human Resources, a Master in Personal Management, HR, Diploma in Personal Management and Industrial Relations, and Associate of the Insurance Institute of India. Lot of degrees. As the principal consultant of RLS Consulting, RLS means Ramesh L. Soni. He has guided organizations across industries on labor laws, compliances, and advisory matters for more than 4 decades. He has authored numerous articles on labor laws and the regular faculty speakers on various subjects. He has been visiting faculty at सबसे पहले तो ICAI, ICSI, Bharat Ratna Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Institute of Management, and list is very long. With his vast experience in labor laws and statutory compliances, Advocate Soni has been recognized for his contribution to the field. He is also appointed as a public notary of Government of India. I am telling in brief. This is Mr. Ramesh Soni. Please welcome him. And duo Soni Khandan. Next is his son, Jigar R. Soni. His fascination with the Indian labor laws began during his early association with RLS Consulting, much before he completed his BCom policies. साथ में आ गए थे फादर के. And LLB from Mumbai University. To strengthen his expertise, he pursued global MBA, HR from SP Jain School of Global Management, during which he interned with Franklin Templeton, Singapore. On completing the MBA, he joined KPMG Mumbai, where he worked for close a decade, gaining extensive exposure to corporate practices and people management. For the last decade, Jigar has been associated with RLS Consulting and blending legal expertise with practical business insight to guide organizations on compliances and advisory matters effectively. We welcome you, Jigar ji. And another family members, his daughters, we welcome both of you. They are ex-KPMG and all advocates, CAs. So entire family is a professional family. So एक बार सबके लिए साथ में तालियां. Before presenting our memento on behalf of JB Nagar Study Circle, कैलाश जी बीच में आके बोल के गए एक अनाउंसमेंट आपको ही करना है, तो मुझे करना जरूरी है. अपना every year we do a day picnic, morning to evening. So this time we have decided this on Sunday, 11th of January. मौसम भी अच्छा रहेगा. Silent Hill Resort, Manor, on the Western Express Highway. Approximately 2 hours का drive from Bagadka College. Morning 6:30 will start. Then रास्ते में गाना बजाना चलेगा, नाश्ता चलेगा. फिर वहां पर नाश्ता है, लंच है, then high tea with pav bhaji. So dinner का जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा. And lot of water slides are there, games are there, many things. उसका फ्लायर आज चला जाएगा. एंड प्राइस तो इन्होंने ऐसी रखी है कि आप सारी फैमिली को लेके आओगे. वो अभी मैं डिस्क्लोज नहीं करूंगा. जब वो फ्लायर आएगा तो आप सबसे पहले बुकिंग कर दोगे, क्योंकि सीट्स आर लिमिटेड. 3 बस ले जानी है, तो उसका इंतजार करिए. और सबको पार्टिसिपेट करना है. जो नहीं आते हैं उनके लिए स्पेशल रिक्वेस्ट है कि आइए इस बार और हमारे स्वागत सत्कार का आनंद लीजिए फैमिली के साथ में. तो आप फिर बोलेंगे सही जगह पे आए. इसके साथ में मैं रिक्वेस्ट मोमेंटो के लिए सीमा जी, ऑल पास्ट कन्वीनर्स प्लीज कम. आ जाओ, आ जाइए. फिर सामने आ गई. मैं तो आऊंगा ही. कर लो. एक एक करके देना. इसके ऊपर फ्लावर है यार. आधा फ्लावर है हमारा डबल फ्लावर. बोलते बोलते पसीना आएगा तो नवनाथ
ठीक है साइड में परत पाठवलं अजून एक पाठवलेलं काय चेंजेस केले ना जे अनाउन्स केले ना हे पण चालेल हे पण अनेक हे चालेल ते डाउनलोड पण करू शकतो सरांना विचारलं तर म्हणजे डेस्कटॉप डायरेक्ट ओपन नका करू डेस्कटॉप
पुनी जी ने बताया अभी जो लॉ बताने वाले हैं वो सीए के अलावा आपके क्लाइंट उनके ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट क्लाइंट आपको फोन करके लेबर लॉ में क्या करता है क्या है आपके पास सप्लाई देने के लिए
कॉलर बाइक
आइडिया आइडिया
फोन करायचे पहिले Yes. ओपन केले शेअर करा अच्छा करून टाकायचं स्क्रीन शेअर करावी लागेल ना चालेल जे असतं नॉर्मल प्रोसेस करायचं करून जे नॉर्मल प्रोसेस आहे ते करा लोक
माइक है हाथ में ले लो दोनों के पास स्टार्ट यस Friends, good morning to everybody. It's your day. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. I am glad to see Sunday morning because सब लोग लेट उठते हैं but पूरा हाउसफुल है सर ने बताया था कि तभी बताया yesterday I was talking with my sir, he is my guide and guru. We are having a relation of more than 35 years. He told me आप आइए देखिए पूरा भर जाएगा मुझे क्या बात कर रहे हैं yes just last week I have given one session ICAI also so just about the labor laws you must have seen before code आ गए हैं what is that 29 labor acts central labor acts and merged into 4 codes. Friends, lot of R&D is going on. I want to say actually we are also doing R&D. मगर भाई सर मैंने तो एकदम सडनली झटका दिया सोनी जी आपको 7 तारीख को लेबर कोड के बारे में तो सर अभी कुछ तैयारी नहीं है भेजने देने कुछ भी आपको बोलना ही पड़ेगा तैयारी बिकॉज as soon as code is declared on the 21st of November at that time afternoon 3:30 my session was going on with the CII. My daughter told me पापा declare हो गया है code बोला क्या बात है, then I informed the CIA or participants. So friend, this journey of code is about 8 to 10 years old. Now, just last week, Labour Secretary also has declared that now all states have to frame the rules. Rules have to be framed, then things will move further. So, but on certain things we will show you 50-50 criteria about danger and employers का cost बढ़ जाएगा, and like that so many plus and minus points are there. But what we are thinking, when the rules will be framed, that we will be getting the correct picture. But what we have studied, what we have learned, definitely today we will inform you and we will just show it to you. Before that, I would like to inform you friends, you are the chartered accountant. I respect and regard for you. My daughter, Dr. Gauta, chartered accountant, CA, particularly this scheme, this is very important and not connected with the code, but Central Act scheme, ESI, Employee State Insurance Scheme. This is free scheme is that this is a voluntary disclosure of your employee. If any employer, if there is 10 or more persons working, whether it is office, factory, shop, maybe the chartered accountant firm or any other firm, 10 or more persons are working, excluding article class in your office. Or I can say apprentice in other industry, where this act is applicable. This department has given very good opportunity till 31st December, 1st July to 31st December, voluntary disclosure. They are mentioned as free. They are doing lot of marketing. Any employee is covered. Say suppose I am in 10 employees before 5 years, 10 years, act is applicable. But here they have given sub-market. Any person will join, any establishment will get registration from today or tomorrow, then this act will be applicable from that day only. No back verification of any record, no penalty, no liability. That's why especially I told myself I want to inform all of my friends, please grab the opportunity. I'm not telling you you can get yourself covered, but wherever 10 or more persons are working, offering factory shops. Recently, it is applicable to the hospitals in our country, particularly Maharashtra state now, and educational institution. All educational school, colleges may be applicable again. Hospitals, nursing homes, where 10% are recently this had amended from 21st of November. So please see that we can give this guide idea to our clients and they must grab the opportunity. Because just we are in touch with the department regularly. They say just let 31st December pura hone do. Then we will start massive survey. Then you will say, these are like a detail. They are having everything. They are already collecting data from the professional tax department. Sabka name, address, they have already collected. Then after 1st Jan 2026, then they will verify 5 years, last 5 years records. And they will see that शिकार करेंगे कभी आता है 21 में आता है 22 में 23 then employer has to pay interest at the rate of 12% per annum plus penalty in their language it is called as the damages that will be if it is delayed by 6 months or more 25% penalty देना पड़ेगा और employer and employees contribution भी देना पड़ेगा. So this is just that's why I mentioned if the things are publishing so many magazines and all. That's why I thought I should even in my that brochure yesterday I was sending to myself. So I'm sure everybody must have received the WhatsApp message.
Yes, he sent.
So in that I have mentioned that. So please grab this opportunity. If it is applicable to your organization or your client, please inform them. Because 1st January से वो शिकार करने को निकलने वाले थे. So don't become the target of that शिकार. So just one more that is I want to inform you. Even now Provident Funds Department has also came out with the disclosure scheme, which is also very good scheme. In that case, just Here also they have come out with this scheme. EEL, employees, just declaration scheme is that, employees enrollment campaign scheme is that. Just recently started 1st November, valid up to the 30th April 2026. This scheme has come before, means on January 2017. Now again they have floated this scheme. Here they have specifically mentioned any establishment who is coverable or employees are coverable from 1st July 2017 to 31st October 2025. They can take this opportunity. Suppose they have not paid any contribution or they have not got registered under the Provident Fund scheme. This is a Provident Fund scheme. Then they can get it registered. What are the advantage? Employees contribution will be totally zero, nil. You don't have to pay employees contribution, that is 12%. Employer contribution 13% has to be payable. Interest at the rate of 12% per annum has been payable, and damages in their language, it is called as a penalty. Prior to July 2024, penalty was 24% if it is delayed by 6 months or more. So that also will be waived. Penalty will be only 100 rupees. Only 100 rupees. So just I would like to request wherever your client has touched 20 or more person, pan India. Suppose 5 employee Mumbai, 5 Delhi, 5 Chennai, 5 Hyderabad, 20 act is applicable. So if it is applicable, then I request you, please take this opportunity to get the benefit, to save the money of yours, your company or your clients. So this is one of the best scheme. So just see how best you can help your client and yourself. And now one more scheme also has been floated by the Provident Fund Department. That is Pradhan Mantri Viksit Bharat Rozgar Yojana. Government would like to give start, or they want to give more employment in our country. That's why they have floated this scheme. Here condition is that suppose Provident Fund is applicable to that particular organization, already applicable. And if they are having up to 50 employees, then if they employed 2 new employees who were not covered under the Provident Fund in past. And if more than 50 employees are there, then they have to get 5 new employees who are not member of the PF. Then if they will be getting entered into establishment, then that new employees, this is for the new employees, the employees will be getting 15,000 benefit rupees. And for that first installment will be payable 7,500 within 6 months. And second they will be giving some education, and balance amount will be payable, and that amount will be credited to the bank account. Now what is the benefit for the employer? Yeah, employers also will be benefited. In that case, whatever new employees joins, if that salary is 10,000, then Government of India will give them every month 1,000 rupees. If up to 20,000, 2,000 rupees will be credited to the employer's account, and more than 20,000, then 3,000 rupees per month per employee will be credited to the employer's account. That benefit government will be. First benefit will start after the completion of 6 months. So here also, particularly, I would like to, and this scheme is valid for the 2 years. So I would like to say that this scheme has started on 1st August 2025, valid up to 31st July 2027, and particularly for the manufacturing unit, this scheme is valid for the 4 years. So just this is highlight I would like to give it to you. Please take this opportunity, and this is a wonderful opportunity for your, if applicable to your organization or your clients. So this is apart from the code, but this is very essential. The government has declared, so better to we must take this opportunity about ESI and Provident Fund. Just I'll give the highlights. I will be giving the highlights about the code. See now, friends, these codes are journey of code is about 8 to 10 years old, as I told you, which are now notified. Now, what are the main points? Later on, Jigar will be taking the further details. So, main point I would like to tell you here, government wants to make compliance very easy. 29 central labor acts will be merged into 4 code. Now, somebody will ask why it is called as a code? Act क्यों नहीं बोलते हैं? So it has mentioned that when more than one act merge, then it is called as a code. Just like in past, we are having civil procedure code, criminal procedure code, multiple acts merge, then it is called as a code. Here, this 29 acts will be merged into 4 codes. That is code on wages, 2019, then code on social security, then code on occupational safety, health, and working condition, and industrial relations code 2020. See here, just I would like to give the highlights. Here, employees as on today, I have seen the salary sheet of employees, big employers. If suppose monthly salary is say 1 lakh rupees, then employers they are bifurcating their salary into various components. Basic, DA, HRA, washing allowance, medical allowance, books and periodical, children's education. So only basic plus DA, they are keeping as roughly 30%. That is say, suppose salary is monthly 1 lakh to 30,000 only. Baki 70,000 various allowances. So here this code is specifically mentioned that 50% should be the basic plus DA of the gross, compulsory. If it is less than from that 70%, that amount will be taken and it will be treated as a 50. So 50-50 is the biggest issue, biggest under the code. 50% salary will be treated. Because of 50% salary, 50-50 criteria, 50% basic plus retention allowance. It has mentioned retention allowance is in a very few industry. I can give the example of the sugarcane factory. Sugarcane factory workers are working for 6 to 7 months, 8 months. Remaining 4 months, they have to remain idle. जो employers give ये काम करे, machine पर बिगड़ गए, repair कर ऐसा वैसा. Like that, retention allowance. But as far as our things are concerned, employer as well as clients are concerned, basic plus DA is the main component, 50-50 criteria. And in this case, because of 50-50 criteria, those employees are old, working for so many years. Liability of gratuity will drastically increase. Then leave encashment. As on today, employers are paying leave encashment on basic plus DA. It will be on the gross. Overtime, employers are paying on a basic plus DA. It will be on the gross. For termination or retirement of any employee, workman, you have to do full and final settlement within 2 working days. 2 दिन के अंदर. Because here employers have raised objection that 2 दिन में कैसा होगा? Some employees we have given laptop and so many other things. Then we have to do all. We have to collect all the accounts and all. So here also objection is there. And as on today, if any establishment has to be closed, then if number of employees are more than 100, then permission from the competent authority, labor commissioner office of authority, we have to take, then only they can close. Now, which has announced to up to 300 employees, workers, you can close down your establishment, office, factory, shop. Next day morning, provided you have to pay the legal dues to the employee. For that, so many unions, they have raised the objection. Number of objections they have raised. And because of that, so many employees, they will become without bread and butter. So there is a strong objection from the union, but government has not heard them. Yeah, about the salary and wages. As on today, if number of employees are more than 1,000 in any office, factory, shop or industry, then salary wages has to be paid on or before 10th day of following month. Less than 1,000 on or before 7th day. Suppose 7th is holiday, then 6th, not 8. But now under this code, irrespective of number of employees, salary wages has to be paid on or before 7th day of the following month. That is compulsory. Here about the strike, we have seen that so many employees, next day we will go on strike. We are not listening our bonus demand, increment and all. We will go on the strike. Now they have put the condition. You have to give that employee union, they have to give notice of 14 days. 14 days. No. We will be proceeding on strike after 14 days, not before. Otherwise, their strike will be treated as illegal strike. So that also they want to curtail strike. We want more production. And one more thing is that about the health. Any employees whose age is 40 or more years age, then compulsory medical checkup every year free of cost employer has to do. 40 years or more, compulsory medical checkup has to be. Then even you are having one employee, then also this code will be applicable. Otherwise we are thinking that बाद में कोड आएगा तभी देखेंगे अपने पास तो 5 है, why we worry? No, one employee, then also code will be applicable. And here gig worker and platform workers, they also will be covered, just like Swiggy and all अपने घर में आते हैं बाइक लेके. So for that also they have provided 1 to 2% employer has to pay directly. For that also benefit will be given to that, because their health and insurance, that care will be taken by. One more thing important, every employees, workman should get appointment letter compulsory. In that you have to mention his designation and you have to mention his salary also, compulsory, or irrespective of number of employees working in your organization. And it has mentioned ESI coverage, what I have shown you. As on today, it was where 10 or more persons are working. Here, voluntary coverage under ESI will be possible. If you are having 2 employees and if you want to cover, you can get it covered with the ESI voluntary coverage. And any industry which is hazardous industry, one employee will be there, then compulsory ESI coverage has to be taken. That things have come. And definition of wages, as I told you, 50% of CTC. Gratuity. Fixed term employees. We have seen, I have seen in so many cases, employer says 1 year fixed term employee. Your date of joining is 1st Jan, date of exit 31st December. They are also entitled for the gratuity, and whatever permanent confirmed employees are getting benefit, that all benefit has to be given to that employee. Even any employee, fixed term employee works for less than 1 year, then also he will be entitled for the proportionate gratuity. And any employee, any person, as on today, all of you know that gratuity rule is that 5 years continuous service. Continuous service means every year that employee should get 240 days salary, then that year will be treated as a continuous service. And any person met with an accident, physically disabled, and then death, early death, then 5 years that continuous service will not be applicable. Similarly, there should not be any gender discrimination. As on today, I have seen there is no gender discrimination in our country. Male, female, and now they have added third gender also. And particularly for the where any establishment having 20 or more employees, then they have to form a complaint committee of the employees, workmen, then they can file the grievances. See, these all things are there. So friends, a lot of changes will be happening in our country. Idea of the government is just they want to say we want to become the within 5 in the world. I am just wishing that our country should become number 1 in the world. As on today, we see that what USA is treating with all the other countries. एक टाइम ऐसा आएगा हम भी नंबर 1 बनेंगे. That is our PM's visit. Vision is a big vision, and we are not worried about that what US says, but we are very strong. So, friends, this all changes are there. This is definitely good for the country. But initially, sometimes क्या नया कुछ होता है तो थोड़ा डाइजेस्ट करने में भारी लगता है. मगर gradually it will be happening, and they want to see that Inspector Raj, they want to minimize everything. They want to online, they can verify. Now designation of inspector is the person can, I am inspector. Their designation is facilitated. Their designation facilitated, why? They have to explain employer and employees what are their right, what are their duty, what they have to do. They cannot say, my inspector, nahi batao. They have to teach them, they have to train them. This is that idea of the this new port, as well as our country's vision is very big. I'm sure gradually we all employers will absorb, and we will do the good for the country. And particularly one more thing, Jigar ji will be explaining shop and establishment. एक गलत फहमीना है अपने मन में कि अभी हम लोग को शॉप एंड एस्टेब्लिशमेंट एक्ट एप्लीकेबल नहीं है. Now, from 2017, amendment has taken place. Prior to that, this act was not applicable to the advocate, chartered accountant, doctors. There was a case of Ferguson and Company. Because of that, it was not applicable. Now, any type of activities, office, factory, shop, chartered accountant firm, advocate, or cooperative societies, even non-profit making charitable trust, for them also Provident Fund, Shop and Establishment Act is applicable. They have made the simplified up to 19 employees, only just simple registration at form number F. You have to fill up, you will get the receipt in form number G. So please see that. That is very easy, online, everything is online. And under Shop and Establishment, you don't have to pay any license fees. This is totally free, totally free. Only for the any violation, then penalty was a violation. Earlier it was 5,000 to 7,000 per director, per partner. Now minimum fine is 50,000 rupees. Overtime 125 hours is permissible. So friends, one more thing I would like to add, where 5 or more persons are working, then MLWF, Maharashtra Labour Welfare Fund, is applicable, including chartered accountants firm also. And one more thing I want to add apart from code, I have seen so many balance sheet audit reports. आप सब अच्छे हैं, आपके बारे में कुछ भी नहीं बोलता हूँ, आप बहुत ही अच्छे हैं, मुझे मालूम है. I have seen chartered accountants are not putting their remarks. PF is applicable, but employers are not complied. Now, आपके audit report के ऊपर भी अभी audit कुछ चालू हुआ है ऐसा. That's what I came to know. Yes. So, yeah. So please remember, you have to see the labor law compliances. PSI Act. I have seen so many balance sheets. I have seen they never bother. तो हमारा CA ने नहीं लिखा तो आप क्यों बड़बड़ करते हैं? तो भाई मैं बड़बड़ नहीं करता हूँ. जो सच्चा है आपको बताता हूँ. So particularly, it is a duty. You have to see that whether they have done the compliance, particularly PSI Act, Provident Fund Act, bonus and gratuity. Please see that. When your assistant or assistant, whatever, or yourself is verifying or doing the audit, then whether gratuity or has been paid or not. Please see that. Otherwise, now things, समय बहुत strict आ रहा है. Here, our department people says, कायदे में रहेंगे तो फायदे में रहेंगे. This is slogan we are telling to all our clients. जितना कायदे में रहेंगे, इतना आप फायदे में रहेंगे. One more thing is that our audit of Provident Fund and ESI, that is in our language, it is called as the inspection. It is much more tough than IT scrutiny. कभी आपने अटेंड किया होगा तो मालूम पड़ेगा. They are asking for ये लाइट रिपेयरिंग किया, उसका आपने 500 खर्चा किया, उसका बिल किधर है, वाउचर किधर है, इसके ऊपर ईएसआई आपने नहीं भरा 4%. दिस इज स्मॉल. बोले क्या यार बचपन है. और डिपार्टमेंट इज आस्किंग. So this is all things are there. So friends, thank you very much. I'll request Mr. Jigar Soni to please take care, and he will give you the broad idea about the. He is ex KPMG, so definitely he will give the, much more.
That will be.
And Maheshji, when this code will be fully this thing that, then again we will come back. तभी पूरा जब हो जाएंगे तब आपके सामने फिर से आएंगे और सबको बताएंगे कि अभी आगे बढ़ो. हाँ, thank you so much. And we have prepared some flyer also. That also, sir, Mahesh sir sent email to WhatsApp to you. And one more thing, we have taken, came out with the list of email ID. Just those who attend our session, to them we give them the bonus, not by way of vitamin M, but we just send them updates on the labor law to all those who, because as on today we are sending to more than 15,000 participants to whom we have given this type of session, Pan India, Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, and all metro cities. So here, just just that we bought that list. So anybody is interested to get that update. No good morning, no good afternoon. Bhagwan aapka bhala karega, aisa nahi. So just we are giving you that. If you are interested, we will send you update on the labor law. नहीं बाहर नहीं इसने लिखा नहीं लिखा है. So once again, thank you very much.
Good morning. Am I audible with this? No. No. Yeah, this is good. I'll do that.
Share here.
Let me go.
आप लोगों को अपडेट आ जाएगा.
Is this visible? Yeah. Good morning. So, I'll go back to 20, 25, 26 years when I was a student in college. And I had, how many of you are in CA? Yeah, I have one more degree, little extension of your degree. I am CA ABF. Attempted but failed. So even as a CA student back then, I used to hear so much about study circles. तो जेबी नगर एक सुनाई देता था। वो प्रोफेशनल होने के बाद, जॉब करने के बाद रियलाइज हुआ हाउ अमेजिंग यू गाइस आर। सो अ बिग हैंड फॉर योरसेल्फ। एंड दिस इज सिंस 25 इयर्स। जो 25 साल पहले सुना था, इतना अच्छा सुना था, और आज भी वो देखने मिल रहा है। So that is something which is amazing, and thanks to the seniors who've taken the lead and got it to where it is right now. So congratulations, first of all, for you to come Sunday morning, houseful, increasing pressure for us. कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. So we'll do a little bit of a trailer on what to expect. Perfect, thank you. The slide is not changing. Slider नहीं move हो रहा है. On है, but move नहीं हो रहा है. Oh. Technology doing technology things. So then mouse will work. Okay. इधर लगेगा मुझे.
बाद में लगा देंगे।
इसमें टाइप सी है, मेरे पास एक्सटेंशन है मेरे पास.
टाइप सी में
ऑप्शन नहीं. अच्छा यहाँ पे है ना, यहाँ पे डाल दो. I don't know what's wrong. It's okay. On है. Thank you. So divided the session into 6 parts, where we'll do background, implementation, overview, key changes versus the current laws, impact on HR, payroll, contractors, gray areas, compliance checklists, few checklists which may help you or the HR teams of your clients, etc., etc. That's the greater agenda. So suddenly on 21st November, while our session with CI was going on at around 3:30, we started getting calls, missed calls, like 7, 8, 9, 10 calls, and wondering what happened. So stepped out of a session and asked, code active applicable हो गया आज से? First we thought it was some gimmick. Like नहीं, code active applicable हो गया, notify हो गया. Like okay. We informed them because session was going on and we just finished a session on code saying code is done but not yet notified, and suddenly code was notified. So this is somewhere, this is going to take us back to the GST zone. I can call it GST 2.0. I don't know if that term is used. So the codes have been notified, but we are awaiting for the rules to come. In the Indian Constitution, labor is part of the concurrent list. So codes have to be notified at a national level. However, every state has to come up with their respective rules. Once the rules are out, rules are notified, from that day, codes will be in letter and spirit applicable. Till then, it's a transition phase. Till then, you may have a lot of litigations on definitions, a lot of clarities yet to come. Because things which were not done in 70, 75 years suddenly have changed. So a lot of base will change for a lot of things. So we'll try to cover the major areas which are going to impact us. In all, there were 29 acts which have been compressed into 4 codes. The idea being uniform definition on wages. They will have more and more digitalization. At one point in time in India, we had to take permission to digitize your records. Now probably we are reaching a stage where we'll have to take permission to keep records on paper, because the digitalization is going to become compulsory. There's going to be more accountability, and overall coverage is going to be stronger. The coverage is going to be more of, I'll cover those points in detail. Instead of having individual state compliances, we'll have one center place for compliance, which will make coverage easy. Because many times it's not the intention to not cover, but the hassles in getting the coverage done, वो इतना ज्यादा हो जाता है, यार छोड़ो यार. Correct? So the four codes, the wage code, is 4x have been covered in compressed into the wage code. The smallest of all is the IR code, where 3 acts have been compressed into it. Then Social Security Code, SSC, which is 9 acts, and the OSHO, Operational Safety, Health and Working Conditions, which is the largest with 13 acts covered in it. In total, there were about 44 labor laws, of which 15 have been repealed. 29 have been divided into codes. As I said, why codes? Essentially, CA students, right? Compilation मालूम है? Institute में लेते थे exam के पहले. So essentially, initially, a lot of it is going to become a compilation. A lot of laws will come together. A lot of common areas with that little bit of, clarification for wages, etc. Those are the common areas which will help simplify things. So at a higher level, there's going to be more of standardization of definition of wages, working towards a single portal. Government is trying to create a single portal at a national level. So you'll just need one login over and out, the way we need one PAN card. There will be a lot of standardization in case of dispute resolution. Say at some point in time, Maharashtra had a different timeline, Delhi would have a different timeline, Karnataka would have a different timeline. All this will be streamlined eventually to a standard timeline. So if it's 30 days here, it has to be 30 days across India. PF ESI coverage will get wider. After a picture detail में देखते हैं. Let's go into the wage code. Wage code is replacing your payment of wages, minimum wages, payment of bonus, and equal remuneration. What was payment of wages? We need to ensure that the wages were paid on time. We need to ensure that there was a limit given. Previously, it was 7th for every organization up to 1,000 employees. If you have 1,000 or more employees, with permission, you could pay by 10th. Right? With the increased digitalization, with 1,000 or 10,000 or 20,000, or India is capable to make those payments in a minute. So all those are not required anymore. So it's standard 7th for everyone. Minimum wages. Now, some of these concepts are very interesting because the way media hypes it, even for shop and establishment, a lot of things have been declared, implemented only in media. Unfortunately, law mein nahi hua hai. So coming to minimum wage, floor wage सुना सबने? न्यूज में सुना इंडिया का मिनिमम वेज बढ़ गया है, ये हो गया है, वो हो गया है. Now some clarity on that. इंडिया का मिनिमम वेज ऑलवेज था. इंडिया में मिनिमम वेज हर 6 महीने या साल ऑलवेज रिवाइज होता था. We are advanced in many ways. Yes, we have been streamlined better now. Now what is happening? We will have a standard floor wage. Now that will be one wage which will be the minimum wage across the country. पूरे इंडिया में किधर भी काम किया तो उतना मिनिमम पर डे, पर आवर, पर मंथ वेज मिलेगा. Concept clear? This is something like a lot of Western countries have. They have one national wage. At least wherever you go, you will get a $5 or $8 or $10 per hour rate. But you go to other places, the rates will increase. So there will be a standard rate which will be declared by the central government. Individual states will have their own wages. But that wage cannot be lower than the ones declared by the government. Clear? Where will this impact? This will impact in states, regions where the minimum wage is very low. It's also to see that while the minimum wage is low, it makes some industries sustainable. If the minimum wage goes from 8,000 to 12,000, will industries in those areas be sustainable? Those are the challenges which we are yet to get answer to. Meanwhile, places like Mumbai, Delhi, no stress. Any which ways we are on the higher side. So we will not get impacted much. Equal remuneration, this was always there. So again, any gender, same pay. Now third gender has also been included. Clear? So key changes. wage. This is one of the most critical points. पहले क्या होता था? इंग्लिश हिंदी ओके राइट? पहले क्या होता था? ESI में जाओगे, ESI will give you a different definition of wage. PF में जाओगे, PF will give you a different definition of wage. Then there'll be some litigation which will add something or the other to it. So मेरे को बनाना था सिंपल मैगी. जब मैं खाने बैठा तो खिचड़ी बन गया उसमें. थोड़ा गाजर डाला, थोड़ा मटर डाला, थोड़ा प्याज डाला, पर प्लेन मैगी नहीं बचा. Correct? I can understand very few of us cook here. I like cooking, so maybe wrong example. So the whole idea was banana tha kuch. With the changes coming in, lot of things moved to another direction. So now government said nothing doing. Wages is equal to basic plus DA and retention allowance. Retention allowance is specifically to seasonal establishments. So let's leave the seasonal establishments. 95% of India, 90% of India, basic plus DA. Clear? Now, basic plus DA has to be 50% of gross or minimum wage, whichever is higher. So if the minimum wage is 15,000, okay, and you have decided a gross wage of 20,000, basic plus DA is 50% of gross, 50% of gross is 10,000, or minimum wage, which is 15,000. For most of us, 15,000 is greater than 10,000. So minimum basic plus DA has to be 15,000. Clear? But then India है, so हर एक चीज में खुद का input होना जरूरी है. We will have companies saying, अरे जब आएगा तब देख लेंगे. Correct? हम basic plus DA 30% ही रखेंगे. Because कितना कुछ calculation उसमें जा रहा है. Government experienced this for last 70 years. So said very nice. So they said if anything beyond your basic plus DA is more than 50%. So as somebody says, basic plus DA will give 30%. So what remains is 70%. Anything beyond basic plus DA, if it's more than 50%, the part which is above 50%, which is 20%, will be added to basic plus DA. तो अभी अपना एक्ट भी थोड़ा बढ़िया बन रहा है. Clear? So whatever it is, basic plus DA has to be 50% or minimum wage, whichever is higher. Higher is okay because that's going to give more benefits. Majority minimum wage cases, it will go to higher. Correct? Impact on PF, bonus, gratuity, yes. How? When we come to that section. See, some of these concepts I would cover even while talking, okay? So if it repeats, I'll let you know that I've already covered that part. So national floor wage is covered. State wages cannot go beyond the national floor wage, covered. Potential wage increase across states. And this would specially impact the areas where the minimum wages are on the lower side. Sorry, sir?
What's the floor wage amount?
Government will come with it. The question is, what is the floor wage amount? So the way currently the state comes with the minimum wage. Now the center will come with their minimum wage, on which state will also come with their minimum wage. So for us, simple minimum wage will come as it is coming from the state. Central will have a minimum limit below which the minimum wage cannot go. Any questions on this? Conceptually clear, right? Salary payment has to be done within 7 days. standard deductions. So now this is not your income tax standard deductions. These were deductions in say cooperative society, if somebody's taken loan, etc. Where up to 75% at one point in time of your base salary or your monthly salary could be deducted for payment of loan or whatever. But अगर 75% ले लिया तो बेचारा आदमी सर्वाइव कैसे करेगा? उसके लिए भी उसको लोन लेना पड़ेगा, right? Debt trap at the lowest level. So government said nothing doing. You can deduct, but maximum up to 50%. Clear? Delays, penalty, go. So now we've gone the Singapore way or the Shanghai way, or whichever we want to call. The way Singapore is a fine city. Heard about this term? Why is it a fine city? वहां पे रास्ते पे चलते हुए च्युइंगम भी खा रहे हो, there's $150 or $100 fine. You're not allowed to chew gum on the road. Jaywalking, another $100. So when they say fine city, it is a city, country, city which has highest amount of fine for smallest errors we do. So what we've done is now we said, okay, fine, let's reduce. I mean, we started doing it even for your signals, right? 100, 200 is now gone to thousands. So inflation वहां पे भी hit कर लिया है. So whatever the penalties were, they have been increased by substantial amount so that you feel the pinch now. And the idea is you better comply. We'll not harass you, jail लेके जाएगा, ये करेगा, वो करेगा, रिमांड पे लेगा, कुछ नहीं. 100 रुपया था तूने नहीं भरा, ओके 1000 रुपया भरो. लाख रुपया था नहीं भरा, ओके 10 लाख भरो. नहीं भरेगा, नो प्रॉब्लम, आके लैंड रेवेन्यू में डाल देंगे, will come as your electricity bill, फलाना ढिंका. They'll sell your property and they'll make sure that you pay. So कायदे में रहोगे तो फायदे में रहोगे. Right? So that's the way we are moving towards. Another important point is for FNF. Somebody is done with the last working day. FNF in 2 days. इधर हम लोग एडवांस टैक्स 8:01 को पे करते हैं तो नेक्स्ट डे. Correct? So we are expecting some clarity on this because while it's very nice, 2 दिन में FNF करना is very good, but it's also risky. What if the person has company assets? What if the handover is not done? What if suddenly वो Mr. India हो गया, अभी बोल रहे सर 4 दिन पहले मेरा लास्ट डे हो गया है. Correct? So those are the practical challenges. We are hoping there will be some more clarification. Those 2 days or 2 working days, even if you put it that way, becomes a little challenging. Say 10,000, 20,000 headcount है, रोज 50 लोग आ रहे जा रहे. Every 2 days you need to clear FNF. Becomes difficult. Bonus provisions under the new labor code. Eligibility threshold. Previously क्या था? Bonus was payable when your basic plus DA is up to 21,000. All India, same rule. Now what has happened? Delhi minimum wage has only gone higher. Maharashtra, it's fine. So government has put the eligibility threshold responsibility on the states. So हर state decide करेगा what is the minimum salary, which is basic plus DA. If you have that salary or below, the bonus will be applicable. Currently is 21,000, which can change to 30,000 in Mumbai or Maharashtra, sorry. But the same can be, say, 10,000 in Northeast. So bonus is only statutory bonus as per Payment Bonus Act is only payable when your salary is below a certain number or a basic plus DA is below a certain number. Clear? सब लोग सो रहे हैं? जाग रहे हैं? So again, we are expecting clarity on this. Set on set off of provisions still stays form A, B, C, D. These are some critical points for chartered accountants. make sure that salaries are reviewed, stat liabilities are taken care of to avoid retrospective effect in future. That is, the client should be aware. ये changes होने वाले हैं. Please be ready. We are in December. तेरे को 3 महीना दे रहा हूँ. चाहिए उतना रोले. 1 April से करना पड़ेगा. Yeah. So again, I'm sorry.
When we see the gratuity and leave in catch provision, now which we have to make, right?
Yes.
That company-
So, but when the whole wage definition is going to come to basic plus DA, it will impact other aspects also. Even your ESIC may get impacted. The HRA is income tax law. So if that stays, it stays. If we are okay, can we take questions at the end?
last में रखते हैं.
I am okay, but then the next session will get impacted. मेरे को पक पक करने का आदत है, मैं 12 बजे तक बैठेगा इधर. So if it's something very pressing, please feel free and very relevant. Otherwise, we will take it at the end. It'll be easy. And the high chances शायद वो cover भी हो जाए आगे point. IR code, smallest of the four. Industrial dispute, trade union, standing order. इसमें क्या change हो गया अभी? Standing order requirement from Maharashtra was 15, for other states was 100, has now been changed to 300. When the head count is 300 or more, standing orders are required and to be notified. So the hire and fire, while we don't do it in India, these are subtly being allowed gradually. So previously the number was 200. So if you have less than 100 employees, you can clear all the full and final legally. What are the legal dues that you can clear, and you can close the company. From a labor law point of view, income tax में ज़्यादा time लगेगा, आप मालूम है. Similarly, now that number has become 300. So you have 299 employees. You decide नहीं करना है, clear FNF, you can close the company next time. Equal benefits. There is no discrimination for work on basis of gender. Equal benefits. Standard problem in India, not India, it's not a right term, but any organization. My budget was 100 people. हम लोग already 101 पे है. Now 5 more months to go and we need 2 more people. चल हम consultant ले लेते हैं. Correct? Majority clients do that. Consultant क्या करेगा? 8 घंटा काम करेगा. Consultant क्या करेगा? जो employer-employee, that employer-employee relationship is there. That consultant cannot go and work with your competition. We practicing chartered accountants, lawyers can work with 2 competitors at the same time, be indifferent and do our work. But an employee cannot. So that term consultant is actually an employee. So even for those employees who are for either fixed term or labeled as consultants, though working full time with master servant relationship there, the benefits needs to be equal. You can't say consultant is so gratuity देना है. Nothing doing. पूरा हल्ला हो गया. Gratuity is applicable on 1 year. अरे नहीं. It is only for FTS, fixed term staff, gratuity 1 year. Permanent staff, gratuity 5 years or 4 years to 40 days as per the Madras High Court judgment. Clear? So if somebody says, अरे नहीं sir, social media पे आया, Instagram पे आया, Facebook पे आया, ये 4 लोगों ने बोल दिया, गवर्नमेंट ने बोला क्या? मैं उनका सुनकर तेरे को पैसा क्यों देगा? ठीक है? So if somebody insists, no, it is applicable, tell them, let's wait for the notifications to come. When there is clarity, we will pay you. If your last day is after, including 21st November 2025. Yes, sir.
Association law firm, whether they will be audience.
Everyone. So that there we'll go to the establishment definition of shop and establishment, where they've not left CAs, advocates, engineers. As long as they are employees, yes. The article clerks become a little bit of an exception because they are driven under the ICAI.
But associate, they will have a contract as an associate rather than as an employee.
So when you say associate, can they have their own clients?
Yeah, they can.
It's okay. Then they're not your full-time employees. Anyone who is, so like that's what as lawyers, doctors, chartered accountants, best example is look at a practicing lawyer, doctor, chartered accountant. Who doctor is not reliant on one patient only. We CAs and lawyers are not reliant on one client only. If you're reliant on one client, it's a job where we are working full-time. But that can again be challenging, sir. If the person is already working 8 hours at that one place, he's a full-time employee. And he's working all days of the month or 48 hours a week, he's a full-time employee. Trade unions. Multiple unions can coexist at one place. There's a term of SNU, single negotiating union, where any union with 51% or higher membership or the largest union will generally be the one who will negotiate. More on collective bargaining. And only the recognized negotiating union can enter into collective bargaining. While this is more relevant from a factory industrial setup, but yes, this is what it is. Social Security Code, PF, ESI, gratuity, MAT, unorganized worker sector. Here, the biggest change which we feel at this point in time will be ESIC. Currently, ESIC is applicable on gross salary minus conveyance washing allowance of 21,000. With the new definition of wage coming in, ESI may become applicable on 21,000 basic plus DA, which essentially becomes a gross of, if you're doing a flat 50%, can become a gross of 42,000. We are expecting clarification from the departments to come. Again, ESIC has covered medical institutions and educational institutions, which are not covered in Maharashtra. It's applicable pan-India. Again, with the whole idea of SSC code is over a period of time, or rather at least after a year and a half, we are anticipating ESI PF will become one. Government wants to have a common contribution. ESI alag se karo, PF alag se karo, nothing doing. You pay the amount to government, let them do. भाई तेरे को ESI में कितना डालना है, EDLI में कितना डालना है, PF में कितना डालना है, admin में कितना डालना है. For us, we are happy to pay. You take the money. वो 4 आना 8 आना 12 आना तू तेरा करते बैठ. Clear? And which will be very helpful. Which will make life a lot more simple. PF currently is 20. No, PF is applicable on 20 employees, ESIC 10 employees. ESIC in case of hazardous, what is the hazardous material, hazardous industries, applicable even on 1 employee. Where the risk is high, ESI is applicable. And now ESIC voluntary registration is possible. Previously, it was not allowed. You required 10 employees minimum to be take ESI registration. Now we can do it with less than 10. Because the benefits are amazing from ESI standpoint. Because this was in news last year. A person somewhere in a village close to Chandigarh. No, he was just taking money, borrowing money to travel to Chandigarh. Any guess how much was his ESI expenditure for his son? Wild guess. 4.3 crores is what ESI had paid. The medical scheme which ESI has, I challenge the total of mediclaim which we all have in this room is not even probably 1% of capacity of ESI. Because there is no upper limit. Hence, highly recommended to cover in ESI. gig orders. Finally, some recognition, long overdue. And now, whether we like it or we don't like it, Swiggy, Zomato, और क्या क्या आ गया नया, Zepto, Instamart, वो सैलरी में एक सेक्शन ही देना चाहिए, अभी उतना उसमें जा ही रहा है हर महीने. Uber, Ola, how many came by Uber, Ola today? A simple example. Now they have Uber bikes, Rapido. They become a big part of our day-to-day convenience, if I can say so. And this is something which we have it, the West doesn't have it. My cousin's a doctor, she came here and she went back to England and she's like, Jigar bhai, I'm missing the comfort of ordering and getting it in 10 minutes. So yes, the gig worker, the gig platform is now recognized. We are expecting more clarity on this, but approximate contribution of around 1 to 2% of the annual turnover will go to something which may be called as a social security fund. The way we have a BOCW, building and other construction workers, right? We may have something which will come up on this. Health benefit, insurance, etc., etc. So more clarity is awaited, but gig worker is going to be, and again, please, I get this amazing question. हमको सिर्फ 4 घंटे का काम करना है रोज का, कैन वी टेक दिस एम्प्लॉय एज गिग वर्कर? नहीं, ठीक है. उस जोमेटो वाला आके 2 मिनट में ही जस्ट पिकिंग अप द ऑर्डर, गिविंग इट टू यू एंड इट्स डन. If I can put it, I don't know if it's the right example, but quasi contracts, if we use what we used to call, if I'm sitting in the cab, the meter is down, that's a gig worker. Key changes, PFE, ESIC already covered. The wage ceiling of 21,000. Oh yes, the wage ceiling of 21,000, 15,000, by we are expecting it to go up since last 2 years. Some point in time it will go up. In our session, I think we did a session here in 2023. We said the same thing. The limit of PFE, ESIC may get increased anytime. It may get increased anytime. Stand is still the same. Or it may get merged to one amount. Something will happen. And with the codes coming in, I'm definitely sure something may happen. Again, gratuity, they've rationalized whole continuous service. So again, the reason for taking gratuity on 1 year. There are a lot of organizations where they will do a 1 year contract with the employee. A lot of HK housekeeping staff. 1 year contract, end of contract, old contract over, new contract started. उसके लिए जिंदगी में क्या चेंज हुआ? कुछ नहीं. एम्प्लॉयर के जिंदगी में क्या चेंज हुआ? कुछ नहीं. वर्क में क्या चेंज हुआ? कुछ नहीं. सिर्फ ये सब क्यों इतना महाभारत रामायण कर रहे थे? टू नॉट पे ग्रेचुइटी. तो गवर्नमेंट से ओके फाइन, आपकी लाइफ में क्या चेंज होगा? कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ ग्रेचुइटी हर साल पे दे दो. ठीक है. This will not even impact higher salaried people with a gross which is higher, larger, because then the concept of CTC will come. What is full form of CTC? Even I say that. You ask him what is full form of CTC, he will say cheating to the candidate. इधर से इधर, इधर से इधर. Yeah. Maternity benefit. Again, with the change in definition of wage, we may have a situation where maternity gets paid on basic plus DA and not gross. Again, I'm saying may. Let the rules come. Let's get more clarity. While this will be beneficial for a bigger organization, it may not make that much of a difference. But for smaller organizations, it may make a big difference. For 6 months, people have started feeling it's a little too strong a number. And this is just my experience of what I see with clients, not my personal view. Osha. 13 acts, major ones factory, contract labor, interstate migrant worker. This is why there is going to be a lot of IT tech enablement here.
Leave encashment.
Leave encashment is the same, not it's
Okay.
again leave encashment goes to our state rules. So for Maharashtra, Maharashtra Stock and Establishment which covers it. So first we had to take multiple registrations, which we still do. All that will come to one single registration, one unified registration. We are trying to have one unified portal where all India, one registration. The way we have the same PAN card and same Aadhaar card everywhere, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Kutch to West Bengal, it's the same. So no multiple registration required, one single registration. Pan India, they will have a contract license now. A contractor will have just one single license to take any work across the country. Again, which is very nice because a contractor, say like from Maharashtra, the limit was 50. Gujarat, the limit is 20. Some other state. So there was so much of ambiguity. So somebody who wanted to go and do business from, especially the bordering states where two states are meeting. He's like, यार मैं इधर खड़ा है तो बोल रहा है तू 20 पे लगेगा, इधर खड़ा है तो बोल रहा है 50 पे लगेगा, तू पागल है क्या? Correct? So there'll be a lot of clarity there. You look at EU, right? We change countries, nothing changes. तो यहाँ पे स्टेट में तो इतना हो ही सकता है. So we're working towards that. So I covered this point, contractor liability from 20 to 50, and which is Maharashtra was already, for contractors, Maharashtra was already at 50. Digital portal expected to come, registrations. There will be one common portal where contractors will have to comply. There will be a lot of transparency. So the idea is to probably have a point where I log into the portal. If some contractor is coming to me, he will share his details with me. I can even check. ये कितना compliance कर रहा है, कितना नहीं कर रहा है. So even before engaging a contractor, you can do some study about the contractor. Today, if anyone will ask me about the contractor, क्या पता है? कुछ नहीं. Company proprietorship. So it becomes very difficult to even know how good or bad the guy's compliances are. Because as a principal employer, gala to apna hi hai. End of the day, if the contractor is not complying, it's going to come to the principal employer. But there was no way to verify. So this makes a very good platform for pre-verification. So we'll have common health and safety norms across sectors. The focus will be two faceless inspections. Already started, but it's a hybrid version, some faceless, some normal. So even the labor laws, labor codes will move all the labor compliances and inspections to faceless. Hence making all the records digitally is becoming mandatory. Impact on payroll structures. This is the biggest. Basic plus DA 50% of gross or minimum wage, whichever is higher. Please don't forget this, whichever is higher. पूरा story सुनने का, please. 50% of gross or minimum wage, whichever is higher. Because we've had calls where client comes and goes, अरे आपने बोला था ऐसा करना, लेकिन ये नहीं तब मैं. Now in my emails I underline, bold, italic, whichever is higher. And again, I've already covered the point that allowance restructuring, in case your basic plus DA is less than 50%, whatever is there will be adjusted so that it is becoming 50%.
So how about the other laws, supplementary laws, special laws? was the right definition is
You can repeat that because it will be helpful for everyone.
Yeah, so basically the definition starts with all remuneration, then is inclusion list, then the exclusion list. Then this proves of 50%.
Right.
So what about the come like other allowance, special allowance, supplementary allowance, super allowance, ABCD XYZ?
So, you know, in the Surya Reshni case, Supreme Court had asked, what's so special about the special allowance? So, now coming to the state of Maharashtra. So, minimum wage is defined three different ways. India, basic plus DA, most of India. Karnataka, basic plus VDA, variable DNS allowance. Maharashtra, basic plus special allowance. There is no DA technically. Technically, it's basic plus special allowance. So I would say, let's not get into more generic allowances. Other allowance, ये allowance, वो allowance, कुछ भी लेके पीछे allowance लगा दिया. बाजू वाले का नाम allowance. Don't do that. Let's be more specific. Ideally, basic plus DA 50% हो गया. You can't do much. CCA is a good one right now. In the Instagram term, it's very trending. City compensatory allowance. मुंबई में आके रहने या दिल्ली में आके रहना या बैंगलोर में आके रहने में इतना मेरा ज्यादा खर्चा होता है. So that compensation is what we are paying. Medical, books and periodicals, conveyance if reimbursable. But yeah, there are many options. But don't keep it random. Let's be more specific. The whole idea is that, you know, there is black, there is white. In between, there are 50 shades of gray. We don't want those 50. Be here or be there. Make sense? समझ रहे हैं ना? Sure. Okay, I'll go a little fast. Impact on contractor and principal employers. I've been told that we need to start Q&A soon, so I'll go a little fast. Is the speed okay otherwise? Am I too slow? सब लोग सो रहे हैं बराबर से? Thank you.
मंडे का इंतजार कर रहे हैं.
हाँ?
क्वेश्चन आंसर का इंतजार.
हाँ, लेवल बंद कर शाम को दोनों questions. Okay, I'll finish quickly. Contractor's liability as per new code, basic plus DA has to be 50%. Failure can lead to cancellation of licenses for the contract. Yeah. Transparent digital wage record will be made available for audits. Principal employee's liability still remains. Non-compliance, non-payment of any dues. Previously, at least bonus was an exception. Now even bonus is not an exception anymore. These are just few slides. Impact on HR policies. We need to have more clarity on wider coverage of full-time fixed-term staff, outsourced employees, gig platforms need to have more clarity. Rules are awaited, so things will change. Leave entitlement do not change in numbers, but who gets them expands under the new labor codes. Employers must revise policies to avoid specific exclusions. Working hours, overtime. Here again, working hours, overtime, we may reach to a point where we may probably have possibility of a 4-day working week. Because up to 12 hours is getting okay. So you can work 4 days and instead of 5 days, we may move to a 4-day week. As long as it's 48 hours. And even anything which goes beyond 9 hours, 10 hours, OT has to be paid, has to be twice the gross wage. PFESIC, don't expect change in 1 year, but merger in long term. Gratuity payment will increase due to FTS impact. Again, bonus provisions may change from state to state. Risk areas to be aware of. Start compliance once the rules are notified. You have clarity, start compliance. Let's not reach a point where there is a retrospective penalty damages which we'll end up paying. A lot of definition based litigation is what I am expecting to get more clarity. This is what typically happened even when GST was rolled out, right? So ambiguity will continue till rules are notified, clarified. After that, litigations are done and then definitions are amended, need basis. Gray areas, bonus and gratuity, state-wise gratuity is 50% of gross. Floor wage, I've got spoken on that. Gig workers, I've spoken on that. Standing order template, which the government should come up with. So this is okay. Simplification, standardization, centralization. This is what is going to be coming to. Simplification of forms, returns, processes. Centralization of government digital portals and standardization of reporting formats is what we are expecting. Simplification, centralization, standardization. This is where it's moving to. Employer compliance checklist. Review the wage structures. Contractors non-compliance will impact the principal employer. ESI coverage. As such, I'm done. These are just few checklists which we had prepared. If you wish, you can take a picture of these. Payroll team readiness check. Don't wait. 1st April को मैं चालू करेगा. सुबह उठ के नहा धो के पूजा करके नहीं अभी से चालू करो. Let the system work for 2 months. Do trials. Because now the penalties are not small. HR documentations need to be relooked at. If there are anything in your offer letter which is against the codes, let's standardize those. Verification. Have an indemnity in place for contract employees if you can. While you may land up paying, but you can always go to the civil court and get clarity on that. For CAs, clients, if you can possibly quantify the approx hit which the client is going to get, that will really help them to comply better, to plan better. And please stay alert about the state level amendments which keep on coming. Yeah, majorly I'm done. So codes have been notified, rules are pending. Wage definition is going to impact is going to be massive, and cost will rise. So buck up, fasten your seatbelts. Any questions, please?
Oh, any questions, please?
Yes, so thank you for the details. So my question, sir, mentioned about the leave encashment from the gross salary. So can we get some more idea on the same?
So
Encashment.
yes, so in factories, leave encashment was always at gross. In shop and establishment, what many companies used to do was leave encashment would be done on basic plus DA. So now that is on gross. See, because ideally, if the person is not taking that leave, छुट्टी नहीं ले रहा है, तो उससे पैसा तो फुल दे दो ना यार. इसलिए अगर मैं डांडी मारूंगा तो मुझे पूरा पैसा मिलेगा, और अगर if I be diligent है ना वर्क तो मुझे आधा पैसा मिलेगा. So that fairness was not there, and which is just getting fairer now.
For such talks about encashment, only for the sales promotion and units.
But when it comes to again leave encashment is going to be under your Shop and Establishment Act, but when it's going to be the greater leave encashment as a concept, it's coming on gross. Sections I'll again get into details.
And you have a labor conference rate, it is not implemented.
Right.
Okay. Suppose as you were role which we take sometimes don't implement also what the central talks about. And what will be the factor for that?
So what you highlighted is very important. This is what has been happening for 5 years. Since 2020, the wage code was out. In fact, I would say, the first time when the codes were announced somewhere in 2016, 17, then I thought, yeah, let's think of getting back to business. Because it will be a level playing field, etc., etc. So I took my time. I was happily enjoying my job. I had no problems there. Lovely people around. So I moved from there, moved to a new place. Again, learned all the existing laws. Usme mastery ho gaya, lekin code aaya nahi. So finally, codes have come. And due to this particular problem, what you mentioned, what government has done is they've decided nothing doing. Middle of the month, दोपहर को 3 बजे, applicable. So now the state governments are answerable. because the minute it goes central, कल मेरा ESI inspection आएगा वो तो बोलेगा ही बाबा ये हो चुका है किधर है तेरा. So state may not support, but how long?
For outsourced employees,
I can't see who's talking. Listen.
for outsourced employees, can you,
Outsourced employees, contract employees, same thing. They have to be treated as a normal employee.
it will for all the benefits for PR, ESI.
They are your full-time employees, unless they are proper consultants in letter and spirit. वो अगर आपके इधर भी काम कर सकता है और कंपटीशन में भी काम कर सकता है, then the story is different. And there is no master-servant relationship. He's working 8 hours with you. He's your full-time employee. So when you say outsourced employee, it will be principal employer, contractor is what you're saying, right? So contractor has to do all the compliances. If he does not do, आपका number confirm.
A related question, small offices where we have the housekeeping or the contract, right? So we are having more than 19 employees. So, but still, as a principal employer, the risk can come to the main, to say the main office, who is doing the contract.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I have not more than 20 employees, but I have taken contracts from, say, a security or something. I've given 4 or 5 employees only. Still, that liability can come to me if there was contract.
Yes. So generally, we recommend if you're giving contracts to anyone for your safety, give it to a person who has ESIPF, code number, compliance, at least the code number first. Don't even take the application without that. Because at least if they have a code number, department has someone to go to catch on to. Yeah, otherwise it will be you. Don't be the, it's a very simple thing. Jungle hai. You don't have to be the fastest. You have to be second last. Last leg of the share khai. So don't be the last in the entire chain.
Good question. Application people for contract for services. They are not engaged with the things for whoever comes, but which render the service.
So you are engaging an organization. This is more like AMCs also.
Right.
So that is, it's okay. This is really good because you are engaging an organization and organization is sending people. But that organization should be compliant. So ideally what we do is we make sure that ESIPF or whatever the new codes will get us, those registrations are in place for the company. And if possible, every monthly or quarterly we audit their documents in terms of whatever those guys who come to my premise, are they compliant? I don't care for your 10,000 employees. I care for those 2.5 employees who are coming and sitting at my place. Are the minimum wages done? Are the ESIPF compliances done? Good. That's the ideal way to do it. You can tell them to share your paid challan copies with ECR view history. So you come to know exactly how much is gone to the person. You are just concerned of the guys who come in your premise. So, I'm with you there. As long as that company is at least compliant, they will go to their house. So this was a case where one of the guys, recent cases were not recent, but now a few years. One of the fugitives who left the country, at one of his bungalows, they had a security guard. Happens to be a client, so I can't name a few of them. This was more as a friendly term. अरे यार मेरा आदमी नहीं है, गांव गया है, 2 महीने के लिए किसी को भेज देना. ठीक है, just तू जाके आ. 2 months, all compliances are in place. That one person was there, and तभी ये अपने जो बंदा था मिस्टर इंडिया हो गया, out of India. Now, this case for that one employee, the entire organization was pulled into an inspection. Thankfully, since the compliances were there, it went on smoothly. Otherwise, these are things which can happen.
Yes, Jeremy. Sir, related to the amendment in ESIC, what I understand is because it was applicable only to the factory premises. Now it is applicable to all offices and everyone.
So, please continue.
So, my question is whether all of the staff which are employed in offices are also required to pay ESIC. And related to the staff who are on apprentice basis, particularly trainee basis, how we comply related to ESIP and PF?
Okay. So first of all, from 1st October 2020, head count of 10 or more ESI is applicable. Head count. Employer, employee, parwangila, I don't care. Okay. So that answers your first question.
Yeah.
In fact, even going to another point, if there is a private limited company with, say, covered in ESI, बच्चा हो गया 18 साल का हो गया, उसका खर्चा बहुत बढ़ रहा है, पॉकेट मनी बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है, एक काम करते हैं, 18 years and 1 day employed as a director of the company. Instead of paying in pocket money of 20,000, I'll pay him 20,000 salary. The person will be covered in ESIC even if he's a director. It will change in partnership because partners are owners. So it's that clear. It does not differentiate between a blue collar, red collar, purple collar, green collar, rainbow collar, doesn't matter. It's very, very clear.
So previously only factory worker we used to pay ESIC.
So sir, previously it was coverable employees वो बहुत पूरा complicated करके रखा था.
Not
वो इधर
simple. Now it's simple.
Now it's simple.
Everybody's told.
Everybody's head count simple. वो फिर वो worker रहेगा तो भी उसका head है. Round रहेगा तो 10 number लेना पड़ेगा. But otherwise now since all of us have one head, only one coverage required.
Office वाला है वो भी एक head है.
हाँ, everyone is a head. That's it. A human being a head count. Apprentice, they are covered under. See again when you say apprentice, they should be covered either by ICAI or ICSI, whatever the institute covers them for.
Apprentice Act.
Under the Apprentice Act. Again, you abuse the term apprenticeship. Standard. कोई graduate है, or let's say somebody who is in the last year of engineering or last year of whatever, studying. As long as he is a student, is working as an intern for some time, it's fine. The minute you need to have letter from the school. So B schools, MBAs, a lot of them come for internships. BMS people come for internships. So if they're coming for 2 months, 3 months, where you have a letter from the institute, place or 2-3 महीने के लिए, summer internship के लिए, winter internship, Diwali internship, फलाना internship, ढिंकना internship के लिए रखो, no problem. However, there is a letter coming from the particular education institute. It's a 2-3 month period. At the end of the period, take a small presentation from them, what they've done, give them a certificate. These are proper interns. ठीक है? Graduate है, मेरे को नहीं करना है compliance. Intern का लेवल लगा दो, नहीं चलेगा. ठीक है? It has to be letter and spirit. If you say, अरे ये तो intern है, इसको compliance हम लोग confirm होने के बाद करेंगे. Is he a graduate? Is he full-time employee? He is not an intern. You may call him Lord, God, Hod, whatever you want. The government point of view, he is an employee. All compliance is applicable.
Trainee also who are just for the temporary period of 3 months. 6 months.
One day, अरे सर, ESI goes to a limit of, अभी ये लाइट खराब हो गया, आदमी बल्ब चेंज करने आया, 100 रुपया बल्ब का, 400 रुपया लेबर. On that 400 rupees, please pay your ESI. Reason, if something happens to him while changing bulb, accidental death, ESI will pay pension to the family till they survive.
In the course of employment.
Yes. Perfect.
What?
New engagement cut off 3 years. Normally companies have calendar year as new engagement period. But it is implemented, this rules regulation has come from April. So for year 25 will be have to be paid full salary new engagement.
As of now, continue with calendar year. Calendar year is the right thing, right?
So 25 it will be payable to the employee in 26 January.
Any choice of leave encashment? So leave encashment is payable at the end of service.
Oh, it's normally they expire the leave part actually.
Oh, shop and establishment है दूसरा. As per Shop and Establishment Act, leaves can be carried forward up to 45 days.
We have 3 days policy and they expire it in January, it is not utilized.
So in this clearly one thing has to be expired, which is your policy. So up to 45 days is extended, carried forward. In fact, law goes on to a point where it also says if somebody has applied for leave and you cancel the leave, due to some emergency or important work, say it's a 3-day leave example, the person already has 45 days leave balance. Those 3 days will be carried forward for that particular year. If you cancel the approved leave. So for that year, it can be 48 also. But otherwise, up to 45 days, you cannot cancel leaves.
So you are saying encashment, we cannot do it, it will be continuing till lifetime or what, till the employer will.
So yes, up to 45 days leave to be carried forward. Above 45 days, it can be cancelled.
Okay.
Notice,
For encashment, you are saying.
notice informed encashment technically only at the time of end of employment.
There are multiple component in the cities like employer contribution also is taken part of CTC, gratuity also taken part of CTC. So how will that component be divided in 50%?
Basic plus data. Now see, when you say components, gratuity as a part of, firstly CTC, legal validity, nahi hai. Gross salary is what we will take. Secondly, taking gratuity as a part of CTC. आप न्यूटन को, एडिसन को और कोई भी साइंटिस्ट को ले लो, तीनों को साथ में बिठाओ, there is no match to it because it does not make sense.
It is not legal, but people are doing that.
इधर गुण लगा रहा है.
Simaji, last question. Thank you.
As per law, no. As per law. As per law, no. Department is lenient at times saying, okay, ठीक है, दे दो. But as per law, no, and I'll give you the reason why. If today my salary is 10,000 and I take leave encashment, tomorrow my salary will be 20,000. My leave encashment will be higher. Law is talking of leave encashment or encashment of balance leave only at the end of service or termination or retirement. While department does consider it okay at times for practical purposes, but so that's the argument which department gives us. 100%. पेनल्टी तो हर एक चीज में है. अरे बिना टिकट ट्रैवल किया तो ट्रेन वाला भी पेनल्टी लेता है, तो ये तो एक्ट है.
Thank you, friends. Soni and Soni, we are thanking you for a wonderful program. How did you guys write? Important information.
Yeah.
By the convener. Recent information.
Thank you, sir, for giving your so many inputs with regards to labor law. Before giving vote of thanks by our deputy convener, I, on behalf of all of you, thanks our one member, CA शैलेश जी घेड़िया, जिनके अथक प्रयासों से 10 साल की इन्होंने इनके प्रयास से आज अंधेरी में सब रजिस्ट्रार का ऑफिस वडाला से चल करके यहाँ पर आया है. एंड all peoples like JB Nagar, Andheri, Jogeshwari will be happy and benefited. 10 साल तक इन्होंने काफी परिश्रम किया, कई जगह इनको जाना पड़ा, कई लोगों ने यहां तक कह दिया कि ये काम मुश्किल है, हो नहीं सकता है, बट कहा है किसी ने कि करत करत अभ्यास ते जड़मती होत सुजान, रसरी आवत जात पे सिल पर पड़त निशान. वो काम इन्होंने किया है. सर, कबीर ने कहा हो या रहीम ने कहा हो, अभी तो कैलाश जी कह रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो मैं हमारे महेश जी और अन्य पास्ट कन्वीनर से गुजारिश करूंगा, दूध जी भी आ जाएं, इनका बुके के साथ में आओ. हाँ,
Thank you. All thank you.